Great to be here during our 29 Days of Heart campaign. I'm Selena Gore, the CEO of Women Heart. Now, Women Heart is a national patient-centered organization that provides support, education, and advocacy to women living with or at risk of heart disease. So welcome to our live. As most of you know, February is both Heart Month and Black History Month. And it's a time when Women Heart runs our annual 29 Days of Heart campaign, which really seeks to uplift the voices of Black women with heart disease, to shine a spotlight on the health inequities that exist for Black women, and to provide empowering and motivating information about how to take control of your heart health. We're about halfway through the month, which means we're about halfway through our campaign. And I just love this chance to speak with our Women Heart champions. These are women who've experienced heart disease and then become trained volunteers with Women Heart. They provide peer support, run support groups, and offer community education about heart disease in women. I am so delighted today that we have a chance to chat with Jaretta Utley, who is joining us from Goodlettsville, Tennessee, which I just learned is just outside of Nashville. So I would love to start, Jaretta, by having you telling us a little bit about yourself, who you are, and just, where you come from.
Okay. Well, hello, everyone. So my name is Jaretta Utley, and I am a mother of an 18-year-old who will graduate high school in, I say now, a few weeks. We're counting down, like 13 weeks.
Wow.
Like you said, I live in Goodlettsville, Tennessee. I graduated from Tennessee State University. I'm a survivor of heart disease, and I just enjoy my life to the fullest every day.
I love that. And I have to say, you look like you cannot possibly have an 18-year-old daughter. So I'm just gonna
Thank you.
say that. So now let's come to the juicy part. Tell us your heart story.
Yeah, so I had a heart attack when I was just 35 years old and my daughter was 18 months old. So the night it was in August, so it was very warm and I just had been sweating the entire evening. I thought just because I had been running around with her because I was trying to read her a book, get her ready for bed, and I just was
Yeah.
sweating the entire evening. So I finally, I knew something was wrong with me, so I started packing her bags to go to the hospital, and my mom was there with us. So she told me it's something how I looked differently because we were going to drive, and she just called the paramedics to come and see what was going on with me. So they arrived and they asked me. They took me to the ambulance and it took me to the hospital, and I had a 100% blocked coronary artery. And I got an angiogram. He cleaned me up. I stayed in the hospital for a period of time. So for my heart story, whenever I tell it, I want people to know that I was, for one, let's talk about in the past, when I was in college, when I was younger, growing up, we're not eating a healthy diet. It was more
Mhm,
fried food, not enough exercise, not enough fruits and vegetables. And
mhm,
and the time of I wasn't working and I was not taking my blood pressure medication. So
mhm,
I'd had blood
mhm.
pressure issues since like my early 20s,
Okay.
but I was on my medicine, of course, when I don't know, when I was pregnant because my blood pressure kept going up and down and I had
Okay.
to be. But when she was born, I stopped taking the medication. And that was like a big factor of my having a heart attack.
Wow. I mean, I just can't imagine. That is a lot at 35 to have a little one running around, to have a toddler, to experience a heart attack at that young age. Now, I know that since your heart attack, and you've just sort of alluded to that, you changed your diet and eating habits. Can you talk a little bit about that, especially in concert with the mental and emotional work that sort of had to go alongside that? I mean, a life-threatening event like that can scare us sometimes and into
Yes.
changing our behavior and our habits. But even having said that, I know none of that is easy. It's certainly not easy to maintain these habits. So I'd love for you to walk us through your journey over the last decade or so in terms of how you found your motivation to stay on a healthy path, because you look amazing and you look healthy and you look happy,
Thank
and
you.
I'm sure that it's taken some time to get to this place. So talk us through that journey.
Yes, ma'am. Definitely some time to get to this place. And so it, I guess, discipline, which of course we all fall off of the wagon about eating right and eating healthy. And I'm mainly because of, well, because I want to be alive for Jillian.
Yeah.
Just even knowing that was very scary and very emotional that when your cardiologist says, well, because you had one, you could have another, that's like traumatic to hear from just to hear. And knowing how much Jillian needs me and we need each other, I needed to make changes to make sure I was there for her. And as she was growing up, I was teaching her to eat the right type of foods. We're going to eat we're going to eat some vegetables, we're going to eat some fruit. So that's what we did. And that's how I taught myself to eat better because I knew I needed to teach her to eat better. But of course, I'm not going to just say, oh, we only eat fried foods all the time and we do so good.
Right.
No,
Right.
we do, and we don't. Did I say we only eat baked foods
Uh-huh.
all the time?
Uh-huh.
But sure, we eat fried food sometime. But I make sure I go to the doctor. I make sure I do my well visits. I make sure she does too. My cholesterol has never been an issue. My triglycerides never been high. Just I live with heart disease and high blood pressure, and I guarantee I take my medications every day, all of them that I
Mhm.
need to. And I try to exercise and eat right and fast and drink smoothies and eat fruits and vegetables. It's
Wow.
a path. You can't, it's something you have to stay on.
Yeah.
And of course, because I want to live a good, healthy life. And it's just in order to do that, I know what I have to do. And mentally, in the back of your mind, that you could pass away because it could happen again. So you want your arteries not to be thick anymore. You don't
Yeah.
want your arteriosclerosis to be so bad that you can't function. I
Yeah.
need to be alive and energetic and happy because Jillian, we do a lot. She is involved in a lot of things and she's
Wow.
going to go to college. So it'll be time for mom life then. So I
Yeah.
got to be ready.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. You definitely have to sort of do all the things that will make you vibrant and happy.
Yes.
Um,
Yes.
it's interesting. I heard somewhere that in Sweden, everything that all the, let's say, the foods that aren't so healthy, they save it all up and they eat it on Saturdays. Saturdays is their day, but every other day of the week, it's a healthy eating day, which I just found to be really interesting in its like simplicity. Like
Yes.
you're wondering, when can I cheat, or when can I give myself a treat, or when can we as a family sit down for some fried chicken, or
Yes.
so it's just interesting, like the way we can rethink our diet and rethink how we eat healthy. um, so I want to talk a little bit about health inequities to sort of change gears a little bit, because I know that that's something that you really care about. We know that Black women experience higher rates of heart disease and are much more likely to have risk factors like hypertension or high blood pressure, as you've already spoken about, and diabetes. So in your experience, can you share a little bit about the barriers that Black women and other women of color face when seeking healthcare?
Yes, I can. For one, as a mother, as African American woman, we take so much on anyway, as far as in our community and in our families, and we don't always take time for ourselves to go to the doctor, to exercise, to eat healthy. So when we know something's wrong with our bodies, we often will put it won't go right away to the doctor. So once we do, we go to the doctor, we know something's wrong. But sometimes we're not heard because we of course are going in saying that, oh, I've been feeling stressed. We have this going in my life. The doctor's like, well, maybe it's just stress, or just come back, take, here's something for some anxiety, and then you can come back and see me. So we're not heard like we should be heard because our of the past and what doctors may think that we're going through. So it's just your decision to, like, no, I know this is not right for me. My body's not usually, I don't feel this way. I have insurance. I have this. I have a voice. I need you to listen to me. So at one time, for me personally, my primary care doctor, I would tell him something was wrong. So I finally said, I really don't think you take me seriously. And he was kind of like taken aback, saying, oh, no. I was like, no, because I tell you this, but then you kind of brush it off. So from then on, he knew that I was not that one. He needed to listen to me, and from that point on, it was totally fine. But that's not for everybody. Everybody can't be able to. Everybody does not get listened to like that as far as our community, because they may think we're just mad, we're just angry, but no, we really know what's wrong with our bodies.
It brings up a really interesting thought, that we basically need to be confident in our experience of our bodies when we are with the doctor, when we see the doctor. And that goes for other things in life, right? We just need to be more confident. When we're more confident, we get more of what we want in life. But it's especially important in the face of, either not being believed or being dismissed by a doctor. And even more crucial when you're in the ER and you're telling them that, you're feeling a certain way. So I think those are really good things for us to think about, that, be more confident, like your life depended on it, because sometimes it actually does, right?
I agree.
In a similar sort of in a similar vein, I know that you help other women take control of their lives. Mm-hmm. What advice would you share with women about taking control of their heart health? I know that you do outreach in the community and you do education at your church. So can you talk a little bit about what you do to help women in terms of raising their awareness and inspiring them?
Okay. Well, one main thing I do, I tell my heart story. And as a women heart champion, we've been taught to be able to tell it like quickly and concise. And you don't have a lot of time sometimes. So I just make sure people know that I live with heart disease. I learned how to make sure I take my medication. I know that I need to be heard. But advice I give them would be to eat a heart healthy diet. To inspire would be to make sure that they are heard at the doctor's office, to know that they're not to be dismissed. And I say I was on my blood pressure medication and when I had my heart attack. So I want people to know that, I want people to know my truth of the mistakes I made, and I didn't eat healthy diet. So to inspire would be say, yes, this was me. I don't want my story to be you. That is it. Don't want my story to be your story. So that is really what I say a lot of people. And I'm just so thankful that I saw today to be able to share my story with people.
That is powerful. That is incredibly powerful. Thank you so much for sharing that. We are sort of almost at time, but before we go, I want to ask one last question. That's about your experience as a Women Heart Champion. Last week, I got the chance to interview Rolanda. And I know you two work together to do a lot of work in the community. And through the Science and Leadership Symposium, you've met many other heart sisters who are now sort of doing their thing in their local communities around the country. So tell me what it's meant to you to be a part of the Women Heart family.
That this is like my favorite question of this whole interview. I am so excited to be a Women Heart Champion. It just fills me with joy. When Rolanda asked me, I remember her interview, I think we're almost 12 years. When she asked me to be a part of it, and we got a part of it, it just filled me, because I knew I was able to go in the community and talk to people and raise awareness for cardiovascular disease in women. How exciting is that I was allowed to see the day that I can go out in the community and do that. So Women Heart has inspired me. They support me, taught me how to tell my story in a quickly and concise way to get my point across, to meet some wonderful ladies. And we really, really support each other when, just as far as on social media, personally, we see each other. And it's like when we're able to get together, it's like no time has passed, because we just love each other so much, because we appreciate what each other has gone through, and we just appreciate every day. And we want each other to know how much we appreciate what each other is doing to get to raise awareness to other women that live with cardiovascular disease.
Thank you so much, Sharetta. I mean, it strikes me that you all have taken something that was a real traumatic experience in your life and turned it into such a joyful, common experience with these women. I mean, to now have that bond as Heart Sisters, and then to be able to then support each other as you go out and help other women. I mean, it's truly such impact. It's so impactful when I watch you together, when I watched you do your work. And I just so appreciate that. It also gives us a really good opportunity to let the audience know that the Science and Leadership Symposium is happening again this year, not once, but twice. If you want to become a champion, there is an opportunity in April. We are accepting applications now for the virtual symposium. So this is the exact same curriculum, the exact same faculty, but they'll be teaching it virtually. So if you want to take advantage of that and maybe don't think you can make the travel in the fall when we're going to be offering it at the Mayo Clinic in Rochester, then this is a great opportunity to do that. And you can find all the information and application on our website at womenheart.org. We invite everyone who's been listening to definitely learn more and take action, to raise awareness, to tell if you're a man, to tell your sister, your wife, your grandma, your friend. And since it's Valentine's Day, I will say your partner, your boyfriend, your girlfriend, anybody and everybody. Visit womenheart.org/29 Days of Heart to learn more about our campaign. And then spend some time on the website, because I think, we've got a lot of great information to share about heart disease, as well as how you can support those in your life who might be dealing with heart disease or at very high risk of heart disease. So I want to take this moment to say happy Valentine's Day. Thank you, Jaretta. Thank you so much for spending some time with me. I will be back on live on Thursday afternoon when I get to interview one of our partners, the Preeclampsia Foundation. So thanks, everybody.